Hello everybody and welcome to Medieval 2 Total War Stainless Steel 6.4 mod. So yeah, it's been 2 months since I last recorded, and it was of course Shogun 2 last time I played. However, I've been playing more of this mod recently, and I thought, well, I'll start another campaign here. I do intend on coming back to Shogun 2, but yeah, for now, I'm going to give this mod a try. I've already been playing this mod, as I said before. I've got a campaign as the French going, and yeah, it's going pretty well. However, I'm feeling this time that I'm going to play as a different faction. And I think I'm going to play as the Kingdom of Aragon here, down in Iberia. An interesting sort of campaign where yeah, it's a bit more religious focused, as in this mod we're obviously playing in Europe in 1100 AD, at a time where there were a number of Christian kingdoms such as Aragon, Leon, and Portugal, yeah, and they were fighting the Muslim Moors here in the south of Iberia and Africa. So yeah, bit of an interesting campaign this. So yeah, we're going to start off as a short campaign, which is still a fairly expansive campaign. We've got to hold 25 regions, including Judea down here, which is basically Jerusalem, and eliminate the factions of Sicily and the Moors. So an interesting campaign. We're going to be playing on medium difficulty, and yeah, let's get going. So yes, and as you can see, just as in Shogun 2, there are little quotes from famous people here, such as Edward III here. Quotes of inspiration, hopefully, for our campaign. But we shall see. So for those of you who aren't aware, this is not the vanilla game, Vanilla Medieval 2 Total War. This is a mod called Stainless Steel, and this is the team that have made the mod. Many thanks to them. They've done an amazing job with this mod. Yeah, basically it expands upon Medieval 2, so it adds an awful lot more settlements. I think in the original game there's 112, there's 199 in this, and yeah, it does make a difference. And yeah, so here we are, we're starting out as the Kingdom of Aragon. If that name sounds somewhat familiar, it might be because of Henry VIII's 6 wives. Catherine of Aragon was one of them. It is the same Aragon as we are playing as now. So they've only got 2 territories to begin with. We've got Saragossa here and Barcelona. And yeah, plays very similarly to Shogun 2.
Your orders, Noble One.
It's a slightly older game than Shogun 2. I think this came out 4 or 5 years before, in 2006, but I feel it still holds up very well. So first things first, we're going to recruit a few troops in our 2 cities, just to, you know, get started. So we don't start off at war or allies or anything with anybody, apart from the rebels, and the rebels are just little pockets of factions that are dotted around with lands, for instance down here and up here, and those are going to be the territories we're going to start and hopefully take first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to combine our forces here into this army here under Ramiro Ramirez. Speed that up a little bit.
Combining forces, my lord.
And
yes. Move out.
I'm going to send this army down to take
We shall
Valencia,
continue at first light.
which is a castle here. There is another castle up here as well at Pamplona, which I do want to take at some point. But for the moment,
Where to,
I'm just going to send my spy out. Yeah, so as you can see, there's a castle here, which I do want to take. But
Sire,
I think it's more of a priority at the moment
without a trace.
to take Valencia down here. It's a
Today's
slightly
journey
easier
is
settlement to take as
over.
well, being a wooden castle, slightly smaller than a castle. But no less well defended, to be fair, so could be an interesting first battle.
Your orders,
see.
Noble One.
Just let me check.
Your orders,
if I can
Noble
recruit
One.
any mercenaries now. So, I have had a couple of graphical glitches with this mod, as ever. The most damning of which you can tell from here. This is a little bit of a mess, but it doesn't break the game. You can still see each individual faction if you hover over them. So that's good. We've got our family tree here. We've got our faction leader, King Pedro here. Our heir, Prince Alfonso, his brother, and his other brother, Ramirez. And then obviously the king's wife here. So yes, we also have a diplomat here. He's not a bad diplomat, 29 years of age. We're going to send him over here to Leon. See if we can establish some trade and potentially an alliance. We shall see. And we have our bishop here. We definitely want to convert some of this population to Catholic, because the higher the as a Christian faction, a Catholic faction we are, the higher the Christianity, the higher the Catholic percentage in our territory, the less unrest we will have. As you can see here, we get 30% religious unrest from public order because of that, so we shall seek to convert that a little bit more. We've got a whole host of buildings we can build. I tend to set my cities on low tax rate as much as I can in this game to help improve growth. Does mean obviously we don't get quite as many taxes in terms of income. See that down here, but for the moment that's not the end of the world. So yeah. But what we can do to improve it is improve a lot of our trade buildings. So for instance, a port here at Zaragoza would be quite helpful. A market and some farms. Also some mines here as well. All very good options. However, I believe for now a port will probably be the most lucrative. And then obviously we can build ships from that as well. And get a bit of a navy going. In Barcelona we shall build I think I'm going to build a small church for now, simply because you know, as you can see, our lands aren't as Catholic as we may like. For instance, up here it's 85%. Down here it's 55 here, 62. In my France campaign, which obviously are a bit more inhabit this northern region here, there's a lot more Catholic population, like 75% is pretty low up here, whereas down here obviously it's a bit lower. So yeah, we're going to improve upon that. Anyway, I think that just about does it for this turn. So I'll press the enter. So yeah, as I say, it operates very similarly to Shogun 2. There are several key differences. There are, for instance, I didn't actually explain it at the time, but my diplomat that I sent out of Zaragoza to speak with the Leonese, that is how diplomacy is conducted in this game, rather than there just being a way to talk to all factions by a button down here. It can be a little bit annoying, but again, it's just different. So we've got a few announcements here. Yeah, some nice reports. Yeah.
Your orders,
So we're going
number
to
one.
keep marching down here.
God will be with us, men! To battle!
And
Without
again,
question, we shall begin
different
the
to
siege.
Shogun 2, in Medieval 2, you have to build siege equipment in order to attack a castle. Or
Besieging
a city
forces
of any
reporting,
kind.
my
Anything
lord.
with walls, basically. You can't just simply attack straight away.
I
Which
simply
it does slow it down
cannot
slightly,
do
but at the same
this.
time, yeah,
As you wish.
it just makes it a bit more interesting, and it's more what I'm used to be fair. So we've got our spy here, spying a bit more on what the rebels are up to in here. They've got a rather large garrison, as you can see, a lot of cavalry, not so much in terms of infantry, and a few missile. And their general is also El Cid the Chivalrous, who was actually a famous general around this time. Can't remember what faction he played for, but anyway, in this game he belongs to rebels anyway. So yeah, so we'll keep sending our diplomat westwards, and we'll go
Yes,
speak to the
Lord.
ladies
Is there
here.
something I can do for you,
So we'll get some
noble
trade
lord?
rights, map information, and we'll leave it at that for now, I think.
No, I don't see how this can work.
And they're wanting more money for that. Well, I'm willing to give you a little bit, but not quite that much. I'll give you 300. How's about that?
It seems we have reached an agreement. Until next time.
And our diplomat has gained 1 influence there. He was 3, he's now on 4. And it just makes it more likely for you to get a good deal. So now we can see that Leon have 3 cities, 3 settlements. They have a castle here, and 2 cities. There's also another rebel castle up here, which chances are Leon will take before we can get there, but we'll see. Anyway, so you might notice a difference that in Shogun 2 all of the settlements are basically the same, whereas in Medieval 2 there are castles, wooden castles, cities, towns. Basically that depends on what kind of settlement it is. So for instance, in a castle you can build stables, archery ranges and barrackses to recruit different kinds of infantry, much more advanced infantry. Whereas in cities, they provide the backbone of your economy. So you need a good mixture of both in order to be successful.
My lord.
Yeah, you can't just recruit. I mean, we can recruit, obviously, some infantry from our towns, as I've already established. But, yeah, most of the time we do our recruitment through castles, because you just get access to better units and troops there. So we've also got another faction down here. We've got the Moors, which are the Muslim faction. And yeah, we can only see one of their settlements for now, but there are others, I'm sure, around here. And I believe down here as well. We also need to go to talk to Portugal,
Noble lord.
who have a castle somewhere
On
up
my
here.
way.
Obviously there's Lisbon down here. I believe, however, that starts off as a rebel city, but the Portuguese do tend to take it quite quickly. So that's how it works. And if anybody's unfamiliar with that from Medieval 2, Portugal are a bit odd in that one, as they own Lisbon at the start and Pamplona up here, which is a little bit random. But and there's no Aragon. But again, that's what I mean about this mod. It adds factions, it adds settlements, and just makes it a lot better, I feel. It improves upon the better elements of the game. So our economy's doing okay for now. So yeah, I believe we're going to end the turn. And as you can see, Portuguese princess down here, and we have a bride presented for Prince Alfonso, which is our heir, which is good. get some marriage celebrations. Which, if we now look at our family tree, we can now see that our prince is now married. A little bit of an age difference there, but yeah, again, medieval Europe. It's scary sometimes how different it can be. But yeah, so the church in Barcelona is now finished. So I'm thinking, I do want to expand our trade and therefore our economy, but at the same time it might be more handy to get some farms, which also increases our population as well, which allows our towns to grow a little faster, which is always good. And Zaragoza will be done with the port next term, and yes.
Your orders, #1.
We've now spent a turn besieging this settlement,
We will
so we
engage
could
them
now
honorably,
attack.
my lord.
However,
Besieging forces reporting, my lord.
obviously laying siege to a settlement will eventually decrease the number of troops inside. However, it does hold out for 7 turns, so, you know, it might be... If we attack now, they've got pretty balanced troops, like, they've got a lot of cavalry advantage. These cavalry are missile cavalry. I suppose we do have a lot of cavalry ourselves, though.
God will be with us, men! To battle!
We might lose a lot of troops here, but we shall see. Just do a little quick save here. Let's stop the save button. Okay. There we go. And yeah, we'll fight this campaign. We'll fight this battle on the campaign map. And it must be said, Stainless Steel comes with the Medieval 2 soundtrack. However, I have already tried to record this once, and I had to get rid of the entire recording simply because at about the 10-minute mark the music started messing up the audio files to the point where it was unwatchable pretty much, so I've had to take the music off, which is a shame because it's, as in like Shogun 2, it does tend to add to the atmosphere a little bit. But anyway, we should have a general speech here.
I have brought you here to fight. I brought you here because you are hard-faced, brave soldiers and put fear into any enemy. I promise nothing save a hard struggle. Would you have me tell you anything else? I will not lie. No, not even if victory depended on that lie. These rebellious knaves and villains are not fit to breathe the same air as we honest men. They must all die before dawn comes again. This is a mercy, because they richly deserve the gallows for turning against their betters. Steady your nerves, men, and stand fast. Our foes have cavalry, but no horse charges onto a spear unless ridden by a madman. And now all is said, so let's do it pell-mell and send our enemies to fry in hell!
And there we are, a rousing speech there. Again, I tend to find that the Medieval 2 Total War speeches are a little bit more interesting than the Shogun 2, but that might just be personal preference, I'm not sure. So here we are, we've got our siege equipment that we built on the campaign map. I don't want my archers, though, manning it. I want my archers spread out. Hopefully pepper some arrows down upon the enemy. and I want some of my slightly more experienced spear militia to take up. Actually, we want. Yeah. Simple reason being is we want our experienced men on the walls. So yeah. So we'll just get our remaining infantry, and we'll line them up again, like so. And then line up our cavalry behind them. Here we go, and we'll start the battle. So we need to move our troops forwards to the walls. And yeah, as you can see, these towers are going to rain fire down upon our siege equipment. So we've got to hope that it doesn't set fire to the ram, because that would be a bit of a disaster. Then we'd be relying simply on our troops taking walls, and they have got a lot of troops on the walls, it must be said. But yeah, we shall see. Just thinking, can you actually run? They can. Might tire them out a little bit quicker because they're going uphill, but move these guys up. Getting a lot of arrows hit at them, but our troops. Well, that's not good. They're sending out their cavalry. Put the ladders down, for God's sake, put the ladders down. Oh, we're in a lot of trouble here.
The ladders are now in place.
Don't go up the ladders.
No match for valor and force of arms.
Yeah, that's really not ending very well. They really... No, you need to put the ladders down. In some ways it's not too bad because it gets rid of their cavalry, but at the same time it has kind of made a bit of a mess of my strategy. Because now they're peppering arrows at me. Let's get these guys instead. Let's get the ram, because they're not really on the front lines. If they get the ram, they can ram through the gates. Whilst the rest of us take out these knights. They are going to get defeated because we're pretty much all spearmen against cavalry. So they've pretty much just got rid of one of their best units, sacrificing them. However, they have made an absolute mess of my army, so perhaps not the worst thing they could have done. Yeah.
Our men have reached the gate with the battering ram.
Let me just pause this while I select the ladders, because it's not the easiest thing to do. That's what I wanted. You guys need to get up on the walls. Our archers are still peppering. You need to take out that general if you can. That would be a real help if you can do that. Anyway, so here we go. Got our troops to the walls. We're knocking down the gate ever so slowly. These troops are climbing up, as you can see. So I want to group those guys together. You need to get on the walls, come on. Right. So here we go. So they're coming onto the walls now, and they're going to try and...
Our men have reached the walls with their ladders.
Foothold here. Do you want to get onto the walls? they've got their missile cavalry now. So they've sent their general back here. I think we did kill one of them though, which is handy. But yeah, so all our men are getting onto the walls. The gates are at 60% down. And we're slowly but surely making our way through this. As more troops get onto the walls. So once the walls come down, the gates come down, we shall take down this cavalry in the city. We will slowly but surely make our way in. We did take an awful lot of losses right at the start there, but the tide of the battle is slowly shifting. A couple more hits on this gate should come down. Seems like something can still got through.
The gates have fallen!
There we go. That's what I was after. And now we want to send troops, our melee infantry, in to attack the skirmish cavalry, which they should actually make quick work of, I'm hoping. We've got a fair few troops on the walls now, so we want to make our way. Yeah, we're losing quite a lot of infantry, which is a shame, but again, maybe I should have waited.
Our soldiers have proved their worth today. The enemy's walls belong to us now.
It is. However, they do seem to be retreating a little bit now. We need to take advantage of our cavalry, ideally. Oop. No, just hang back a minute. I don't want the general dying. We don't. Right, never mind. We have got spearmen, but should take pretty good care of them. We're not doing very well at all here. In fact, we just had them retreat. Come on, run. And here they all come, bursting through the gates. And now they retreat, which is what we were after. Chase after them. We need to get past this spear militia, really. They're just getting in the way while we get met with arrows. It's not good.
The enemy are badly blooded. They have lost. Lord preserve us. We have lost half of our men.
Yeah, the battle on the wall didn't go as well as I was hoping. Stopped treating some of them, but might not be enough. Let's get through here.
Charge!
Probably not helping my archers. It's probably doing just as much damage to my troops as it is theirs. Just wondering, where's their general gone? Oh, he's here. This is just carnage, isn't it? Well.
You're under attack! Units charge! We're under attack! Units charge! Units band together! Units charge!
So I've got a little bit of a plan. I'll use a bit of strategy this time. I'm going to send our spearmen to attack them head on, and send our cavalry round to flank them. No idea what they're doing, but if we can engage them in melee, and then send the cavalry in round the back to their flanks. Can't get much of a flank here, but
excellent! Our men have taken control of the castle! Police charge!
and that might just do it now.
The battle is in our favor. If we remain true and wholehearted, victory will be ours.
And here's the general himself, taking quite a bit of damage. He can't last much longer, surely. Getting hit from all sides. I believe he's the only one left. But they can't quite take him out yet.
Praise to our Lord! Our men have slain the enemy general. This is a clear victory that goes to only men of great virtue and valor.
Well, that was a sloppy victory, I think it's fair to say. We lost a lot of men there. Yeah. So, we should have possibly waited them out a little bit longer, but hey-ho. We've taken the castle, so that's what matters. And now we have the castle, we can potentially retrain the troops a little bit. So yeah.
Blessed Lord, we thank you for delivering us. God has delivered us this
And we
victory.
can now occupy the settlement. So, we have taken the settlement. However, that just about does it for this part. So I'm going to leave it at that. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye for now.